Wall Street opened a new trading week in confidence. On a Monday, the S&P 500 reached their second highest level ever because high-tech stocks added to recent gains. The benchmark stock indexes are trading mixed today in light of tepid corporate reports. Meanwhile, the high-tech sector is taking the lead. The major stock indexes closed in the green, having gained 0.2 and 0.3%. The S&P 500 climbed by 10 points to close at 4,850 points. Wall Street indexes are trading mixed in the New York pre-market. The Dow Jones is wound down by corporate reports. The S&P and Nasdaq are trading higher. The S&P is expected to trade in the intraday CAD between 4,834 and 4,875 points. Now, investors are focused on the revenue forecast for US-listed companies. Previously, top American banks opened the season with mixed results. The economic calendar for the United States was empty on Monday. In this context, the major stock indexes looked inertial growth. The semiconductor index rose by 0.3% to hit a new all-time high, while Nvidia added 0.3% to set a new record. The S&P 500 technology index grew by 0.4%, with the strongest performance among 11 sectors. Traders are anticipating reports by market heavyweights. Netflix, Tesla, Abbott Laboratories, Intel and Johnson & Johnson are scheduled to report earnings later this week. Microsoft and Apple will follow next week. The New York pre-market today suggests a mixed intraday forecast. The Dow Jones Industrial Average came under pressure as blue-chip corporations delivered disappointing earnings. Tuesday's results dampened market optimism, and 3M shares stumbled by 5.1% before the opening bell in light of dismal full-year earnings of the industrial conglomerate forecasts. General Electric shares plunged by 5.6% after the engine maker also forecast dismal quarterly earnings. Procter & Gamble cut its full-year profit forecast due to decelerating inflation as well as a decline in the market value of its Gillette business in December. However, its shares rose by 1%. United Airlines added 6.8% after an upbeat full-year outlook, pushing other airlines such as Delta Airlines and American Airlines up by more than 2.6%. Streaming entertainment giant Netflix will report later, and the company is expected to report revenue growth of 11% in 2023. Cryptocurrency and blockchain stocks, including Coinbase Global, also fell by 2.4% to 4% today, after Bitcoin sank below $40,000, hitting a more than a 7-week low. Treasury yields went up again. At the same time, fueled by excitement around the reports, the shares of market giants remained quite stable in the pre-market and were mainly trading in the green zone, as the Fed policymakers are refraining from remarks before the meeting, and Fed funds futures fell just below 50%, and traders' expectations for the US monetary policy easing have now been shifted to May, with an 84% probability. Popular currency pairs are trading roughly with the same dynamics. The yen is the exception today because it advanced by 0.75% against the US dollar earlier but pulled back later on. As a result, the US dollar index remains almost flat. The instrument traded at 103.38 before the opening bell, having inched up by 0.05%. The intraday CAD is seen at between 103.10 and 103.50. policy, and today the Bank of Japan maintained the status quo at the two-day policy meeting. Still, some experts reckon that the regulator might embark on a monetary tightening later this year. If we receive further evidence that the positive cycle of wage inflation will intensify, we will consider various moves, Bank of Japan Governor Kazuo Ueda said. The market took the statement as a signal of a potential monetary tightening, but the question of when exactly remained up in the air. In our opinion, April is the earliest time when they might consider raising interest rates. Importantly, a number of major central banks, including the ECB, are due to unveil their policy decisions this week. The Canadian dollar will get to know the verdict of the Bank of Canada tomorrow. Meanwhile, the loonie is consolidating ahead of the policy meeting. The USD CAD pair was trading at 1.3476 before the opening bell, a 0.01% down. The instrument is likely to trade in the intraday corridor between 1.3450 and 1.3490. The Canadian dollar hit a 1.3416, the strongest point against the greenback on January 15. The Bank of Canada is expected to leave its key overnight rate unchanged at a 22-year high of 5% at the policy meeting on Wednesday. Thus, the market's attention will mainly be focused on a forecast for inflation and economic growth. We expect the Bank of Canada to maintain a hawkish stance as recent data points to persist domestic inflationary pressure. Earlier, bank representatives had already warned the market against over-optimism. The crypto market is trading lower after Bitcoin had reached its two-year high at $49,033 in response to ETF's approval, and the token tumbled by 20%. Currently, the crypto is 45% lower than its historic high at 69,000. There is evidence that crypto whales are locking in some profits. According to Glassnode's estimates, the total number of Bitcoins owned by long-term holders has dropped by about 75,000 from an all-time high in November. In the New York pre-market, the flagship crypto dropped by 2.6% to open at $38,790. Our analysts suggest the following intraday outlook for Bitcoin. The baseline scenario is trading in the corridor between $38,100 and $39,700. Going beyond the borders will push the price either down to $37,500 or up to $40,200 and $40,700. Our review of American markets is over. Subscribe to InstaForex TV channel and we will keep you updated on daily market developments. Financial markets offer ample trading opportunities. Good luck in your trading and see you online tomorrow.